Welcome back to My View. Out of all of the president's cabinet members, arguably no one has had to roll up their sleeves more starting on day one than Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. A string of recent aviation disasters and close calls is testing the public's confidence in air travel. It's also exposing critical infrastructure shortfalls in the form of outdated air traffic control services. From old copper wires to floppy disks reminiscent of the 1980s, it's safe to say America's transportation system is at a crossroads. The list of challenges Duffy faces is long and daunting, especially so for the father of 9 who prides himself on his ability to keep his family safe. And despite his busy schedule, I was able to pay the Secretary a visit at the Department of Transportation's Operations Center to better understand the road ahead. Watch. Sean Duffy, Transportation Secretary, thank you. We're here in the command center.
Yes.
This is very cool. Did you ever think when you were on the set of The Real World, when you were on the set of Fox News, that here you would be as a member of the president's cabinet?
I think this is the best job of all the federal government. And actually, he has said, if I could pick one department that I would like to be the secretary of, if not the president, would be transportation.
Oh, wow.
So again, we build things, we make sure people lives are better. You know, they move through traffic and move through the air more quickly. They get home to their families more quickly. So yeah, this is I think one of the greatest places I could be in government. Again, because we have such impact on people's lives.
Yeah, well, you had the ability to walk in as a member of the president's cabinet. For that speech, the joint speech to Congress the other night, one of the things he talked about was about eliminating DEI from the federal government.
Our country will be woke no longer. We believe that whether you are a doctor, an accountant, a lawyer, or an air traffic controller, you should be hired and promoted based on skill and competence, not race or gender.
And you know, there has been focus on the Department of Transportation as it relates to that, you know, in the wake of some of these aviation situations. Why is that important for you guys here?
So the role of this department is one thing, it's safety, right? Making sure people on the roads, in the air, on trains are safe. And so you only want the best and the brightest because that's what takes you home to your family. And so if we're hiring for other reasons, I don't care what the reason, it has no place here.
I know that you, I think, announced some things that have been found already with DOGE. How has DOGE worked?
We're still doing that process of where can we make our government more effective, more efficient, and again, that's the effort. And it's not just people; it's contracts. After Health and Human Services, we send out more grants than any other department. We build roads and bridges and airports. Thinking through how we're engaging in that contracting to make sure we get the biggest bang for our buck is really important. The last administration, they focused on a lot of green. They focused on a lot of social justice. And we're focusing on actual infrastructure that builds out, again, making traffic move more smoothly, making sure our airports, our airspace works a lot better.
What are some of those infrastructure projects? Because, you know, we did hear in the last administration that they had some grand plans. I don't really know what we had to show for it. What do you guys envision over the next 4 years doing infrastructure?
They did have grand plans. I don't know what they did.
We're still wondering.
We're still wondering and waiting. Again, a lot of they had the infrastructure bill. They spent a lot of money, and I've come in and wondered, what did you do with the cash? Again, a lot of priorities that maybe wasn't infrastructure. And so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to rebuild the air traffic control system. It's 25, 30 years old. You know, the technology would shock a lot of people, right? And so it has to be updated. It has to be revitalized. And so we're going to focus on that. It's going to take a little bit of time, probably, you know, 1.5 to 2.5 years to get that done. But that process is underway right now. Congress has to give us money to do that.
There are a lot of concerns right now. Obviously, I think it was maybe your first day on the job. You had to deal with a tragedy, a disaster right here in Washington, D.C. Elon Musk says we have an extremely dire situation with the communication system that air traffic control uses. You just alluded to the fact that we have to update a lot. Were you shocked, Secretary, when you got here to really get a scope of how outdated this system is? Because I think a lot of Americans are learning about this for the first time, and it's very scary.
Yeah, so first I want to say all of the crashes that have happened over the course of our first 2 weeks in office, they have nothing to do with air traffic control specifically. but it's given us a focus. We're using old copper wires, right, that sometimes will go down. It's a warning sign that it has to be remade. And so we need to lay fiber. We need new radios. We need new terminals for our air traffic controllers. They sit in a terminal and they're using old floppy disks. They have headphones where they're using jacks to plug in. It's kind of out of 1980. And so the Congress, I think, will give us the money. But Elon made the point that time is the enemy of the progress, right? If it takes 6, 8, 10 years, money changes, priorities change, Congresses change, administrations change. So if we can get the money up front and move fast, we think we can get it done very quickly. But if we don't do something now, we won't have 5, 10 years. This system truly will have failures, and people's lives will be in danger.
To the average American out there who is nervous about flying, can you tell them it is safe to fly in the United States?
Flying in America is incredibly safe. I fly multiple times a week. And again, if it wasn't safe, air travel gets shut down, right? If you see a delay or you see cancellations, it's because we look at the system and say there's too many airplanes traveling at that time in that location, and we'll shut it down. So you will not fly if it's not safe.
So, Secretary, these are all airplanes in the sky right here.
This is our airspace.
Wow.
Right here, we have airplanes flying. But so again, this is our control center. So when crises happen, emergencies happen, we have stations, all built out so we can come and respond to the big issues that take place in the country. Now, when we have air travel crashes, which hopefully we're done with that, we go to the FAA where they have one of these in their facility as well. But we're able to, replay audio, look at radar. But again, start to unpack what's taking place with the incident. But then we have a chance to also go, how are we responding, for saving lives?
Right.
If you ask anyone who works in government, they'll tell you that this department is the best. The people that are mission driven, again, they don't have any other issue but roads or rail or airplanes, and they all care about safety. Many of them care about safety. So to have this job with a mission-driven group of people in government, again, I'm blessed.
But the Secretary's job certainly has some challenges. There are also people out there who assume that you can't have transportation as we've had it in this country and want to see it in the future and protect the environment and do it in a clean way.
Democrats who have a vision, or some liberals or environmentalists who their vision of the environment is you can't build anything. Well, we have to build things in this country. We have to make investments. And so I look at the projects that we want to do. The materials that we use are cleaner. The systems we use are cleaner. The problem is that, again, if we're going to repave a road over the same road, we need to get permits, and it takes years upon years to get permits to build in the same place we already had a road. And so the question becomes, is that really helping the environment if I can't rebuild this road and it takes me a decade? I'd say no. I'm not opposed to environmental rules and regulations, but again, it can't take a decade. It can't take 15 years. Donald Trump says, listen, give me an answer. He's a bull in a china shop in many ways, where if he agrees with the idea, he'll do all he can to clear the way to make sure these things get done. It must have been a really hard 4 years for him where Joe Biden was in office. But the 4 years, I think, gave him time and space to think through and envision how he wanted the next 4 years to be. And I think if he had won a second term consecutively, it wouldn't have been the same.
He's got a great team around him like you. You have a big family, though, Sean, and I wonder how they feel about having you here. They must be so proud of you.
They love to see their dad with President Trump and with his cabinet and fighting to make this country better. To be a father of 9 kids and to have such an ability to impact their lives, to impact the lives of their friends and their families, of the whole country by doing this job really well is an honor for me. If you want to make the country great and you want to fix all these problems that we have, you need a team that's going to just be driven every single day. I think my kids understand that and they appreciate it. And I think what we do is we set an example for our kids, right? Of what does it mean to serve? What does it mean to work hard? What does it mean to be passionate? This is what hardworking men and women do that care about their communities and want to fight and bring this country back and make it just as great as it was the country that we grew up in. We want that for our own kids.